Aries, welcome to Yellow Cardinal Tarot with me. My name is Carol, and this is a general reading for you for July 2024. So in today's reading, we're going to be doing the Hermit's Lantern, and we're going to be doing some shadow work. And so if you're unfamiliar with that term, shadow work, I've left a video in my description box for you just to explain a bit what it is, how to do it. It's a video that I've made, and it's on my other channel called Carol Cares. And it's all about facing your shadow and how you do it. And so it's a compilation of everything that I've learned over the last, 7 years of doing my own intensive shadow work. So we're going to be looking at in spots number 1 and 2, and I'm going to start off with the Tarot of the Abyss. We're going to be looking at what's coming up in your shadow first of all, and then we're going to look at what is the origin of that. So let's begin with those two first. So I'm going to ask the Tarot to give me one card, hopefully. Otherwise it becomes a story sometimes. And just to see, give us an idea of what's coming up with Aries shadow here. And it seems to want these two. So the Five of Pentacles and the Page of Swords. And what's the origin of these two cards? Please give me the origin of these two cards. You have a few here. So you have the Six of Pentacles. I didn't show you that card that well. Six of Pentacles. The Seven of Pentacles in reverse. And the Sun card. That's the origin. How is this showing up right here? So how is this... whatever's coming up in your shadow always has a huge impact on your daily life. And so all the issues that we're seeing in our life, all the decisions we're making, the conflicts, the struggles, the relationship problems, issues, it's all because of what's coming up in our shadow to heal. It's something that they trigger us, right? And so how is this showing up right here in your daily life? Just one card. You have the Seven of Cups in reverse. And you have the Moon card. And how about some healing? How can Aries begin to heal this that's coming up from their shadow? Ooh. You have the Three of Wands in reverse off the floor. And the Nine of Wands. Nine of Wands. All right. So, missed number 5 in the middle here. So, how will Aries' life change after they begin to do the work here and they begin to heal? The Six of Wands. A number of Wands card. You have the Six of Wands, the 9, the... where were the other ones? I thought there was... You just have 2. Okay. I thought you had more than that. All right. Let's go into the Rider-Waite deck. Now, I'll have to really clarify all of them, actually. I'm going to clarify this first one with maybe one card here. So tell me more about the Five of Pentacles and the Page of Swords here. More about the Five of Pentacles or the Page of Swords? It's too many. Guess I'll take them. Seven of Pentacles, the Ten of Swords, and the Four of Swords. Four of Swords here. And that's in reverse. I'm going to leave these three because I think they're going to be okay. I'll clarify if I have to. But I'm going to ask for a card over here for the Seven of Cups and the Moon. Oh, this is all is it mixed up? No, I'm just dealing with it backwards. So the Seven of Cups and the Moon, please. Anything else you can say here? One card, two cards. The Ace of Cups in reverse. How about this Three of Wands and the Nine of Wands? Anything else you need to say here? Anything else you need to say here for Aries? The Ace of Wands, another ace. Two aces here. Interesting. Okay. Six of Wands. Can I have a few clarifiers for that one, please? What else do you need to say about this Six of Wands? Seven of Wands. And I'll see if there's one more that comes out. The Four of Pentacles. Okay. I will also pull an oracle card for you at the end from the Sacred Creators Oracle deck. And then I'll actually offer you some videos from my other channel, Carol Cares, that are going to help you a bit more on your journey, that are going to really focus in on what's coming out from this reading. So oftentimes it's help with emotions, or sometimes how to learn how to ground or journal. So we'll see what the reading tells us. But what we're going to do is we're going to start off with this card over here. And in January 2024, Aries, I put out a yearly reading for you. It's linked in my description box if you're interested in it. And in that yearly reading, I pulled out 12 cards for you. And the one for July was the Nine of Wands. And so that's going to be our overriding energy for you. And I think it's turned up. Here it is right here. Yeah, it's turned up right here with the Tarot of the Abyss in how you're going to heal it. So this is going to come around here and we're going to talk about over here. So this Nine of Wands card is, it's your overriding energy. And these wands are, having taken your life and tried over and over to kind of take your life in different directions. And we're trying to overcome, what's coming up for us to heal, and all these issues and problems and things we have to deal with. And, we end up with a lifetime of, there's still trauma that we haven't healed. There's stuff from our childhood that needs healing. And we're always healing. We're never done. There's stories out there of people you hear where, maybe they've had one, I don't know, an epiphany of some sort or whatever, and then they're healed. Well, there's no such thing. We're always growing. We're always evolving. This Nine of Wands comes out when it says, you know what? We all go through stuff, and we all have to heal our stuff. It feels like a real battle sometimes, I know, but we have to start to heal it. It's time to start to heal it, because otherwise life feels like a battle all the time. So let's see how we're going to start out right now and see what's coming up from your shadow to heal. And so we start off here with, in your shadow you have this Five of Pentacle card. And the Five of Pentacle tells the story of these two individuals that just don't feel worthy enough to go into this church. They're needing some support. And there's a church in the background, and in the Rider-Waite deck really depicts them as, having not being very poorly dressed in the wintertime, and just not feeling the support, not feeling like they matter. And this card often speaks to me of unworthiness. And so it can, it brings up that whole emotion of shame that we all have. We weren't born with it, but it was given to us. Shame is something that is given to us from our parents or adults around us. And so you're starting off this by your unworthiness, how you feel about yourself, the shame that you're carrying around is coming up here for you to heal. Right behind it is, as a clarify for it, was the Page of Swords. And I think because of this Five of Pentacles here, you've really, had a hard time questioning, who you really are. You're not really sure because there's just so much unworthiness that's clouding it. And there's a page here. And my pages in my deck are younger children, our inner children. And I know mainstream psychology likes to say that there's just one inner child, but we have many inner children. We can have many inner children. I know I do. And this particular inner child holds your sword of authenticity. They know who you are. Our inner children know who we are before anything ever happened to us. And so I think there's a child here, there's a part of you that needs healing, and that's the most important thing, that you have an inner child who needs healing and who holds shame and who holds, that feeling of unworthiness that needs to be healed here. And I think when they were younger, there was this feeling of the Seven of Pentacles where it's just kind of like, I think they gave up. The Seven of Pentacles speaks about somebody that has spent their lifetime hoeing, and they look at all these pentacles, and it could be, Pentacles refers to our relationship with our material world, with our body, with our health, with our workspace. And I think there is a part of you that just looked at this when you were younger and just gave up. Just gave up and said, is this it? This is it. This must be it. Because, if you're dealt with this hand when you were younger, where when you felt this unworthiness, whatever the situation, maybe we'll get some more clarity on it here. But you were in a situation where you just gave up. And here's the mental energy to prove it. This is the mental swords that you would have felt when you were younger, and maybe people told you things. When we feel this shame, I want you to think of a bully. A bully is full of shame, and they will say things and do things to their victims because this is what they were given. So people who have shame have to get rid of it. They don't want it. We're not born with it. It was given to them. And so they try to give it to other people, to their victims. And here you are. These are all these mental thoughts. These are all the things that you think about yourself here. They're all the mental things. These are all the things that you were told when you were younger, Maybe you were told you don't matter. Maybe you were told like you're a piece of shit, or you're not worth it, or you can't do this, you're not allowed to do this, you wouldn't be able to do this, you're not good enough. These are all the things that you were told when you were younger, and look what they did to you. Because you have your whole identity, which is this younger child and how they know who they are. Well, they were born in this world knowing who they were, for sure. But what happened is something happened here where you were told you were different than that. Maybe you were told you were different. You were told something else. And so your whole identity was built on what someone else told you about you. And here's the Four of Swords here. And in an upright position, the Four of Swords speaks about someone who was needs to really take some time out and get still, and because there's just a lot going on in their head. This is what the Four of Swords speaks of. But this is from your shadow here. And I think that, it was, to me, it speaks of coming from maybe an environment that was very much unstill and very chaotic, because you know, and this is maybe you've come from a very dysfunctional home where these are the swords that were handed down to you. This was a shame that was handed down to you because of what went on in that house. And so let's get some clarity on what the origin of this is. Well, this is the Six of Pentacles and the Seven of Pentacles. So Six of Pentacles is the first one here, and this is the number 6. It's a duality card. All my sixes have a duality to them. It looks like you know, this individual, this beggar's asking for money, and we don't know how much money the beggar's asking for. But let's say that, you know, they decide that, well, I'm worth 10 pentacles. I'll have 10 pentacles. And so the beggar will give them 10. It's got this giving and receiving aspect to it where whatever you ask for is what you're going to receive. And so I'm feeling here that, and this again is a self-worth card, not feeling good about yourself. So there's very much, again, this is this if I had to pick 2 cards in my decks that speak about self-worth and your worthiness, and is the Five of Pentacles and the Six of Pentacles. Both of those come up as, you know, feeling this unworthiness. The Six of Pentacles kind of speaks about you've learned from how people have treated you that's the way what you are worth. And that's kind of the exchange that you got when you were younger. And then you get the Seven of Pentacles right after this. And the Seven of Pentacles in an upright position speaks again about, here it is, about this hoeing here and realizing that this is all it is. This is all you're getting. This is all you're getting is what I'm hearing here. I talked about how is this everything? And you've given up here. And you've realized that this is all you're getting, because that's all you're worth. And so very much a case where, you know, you can imagine a child that this is all they're getting because that's all they're worth. And the Sun card here comes in at the end to explain everything. And as a child, there just was no joy in your life. So I mean, I'm depicting something that's very dark here. This is a general reading. But I mean, if it resonates with you and you know that you came from a very difficult childhood, and, you know, and you don't have like a, you know, if there's a lot of unworthiness, if you just don't feel good in your own skin, this may resonate with you. And, you know, I hope we stick with the reading, but it's very dark, but we are going into the shadow. And unfortunately, you know, this could have been the way that you were treated, where you were left to feel like you didn't matter. And so how is this, you know, showing up in your daily life right here? Well, you have the Seven of Cups here. And the Seven of Cups is an individual here that in an upright position has so many emotions. And I'm going to say, sometimes I look at that as having so many emotions and just not knowing what to feel. And they can sometimes be dissociated and not in their own body, because they don't want to feel all these emotions. So they just go right back up in their head. And there really is a block here, resistance to you to feel all your emotions. I mean, you have some very painful emotions here, like unworthiness and shame are so difficult, those emotions, because, well, unworthiness comes from our shame, and that is such a difficult emotion to deal with, because it's painful. It's very painful. But the thing is here, you're an adult, and you can feel this now. You couldn't when you were a child, but you can feel this now. And I think this is what this overriding energy is kind of saying, like, you can feel this now. You are an adult. The Moon card comes here. And, you know, the Moon card speaks of all these things that are unseen about ourselves. The moon is our intuition, which is very much something that we all have access to, but it represents this moon card represents our unconscious, these things that are sitting in our unconscious. And you have so much that's sitting here that's blocked. You've blocked it here. And the Ace of Cups comes here, and it's in reverse. And the Ace of Cups is like an offer or a gift from the universe to feel again. To feel again. To start to feel again. And it's blocked. There's a resistance to doing it here. So this really tells me that I want to pick one more card here for you. I'm going to go to a different deck here. Yeah. Yeah. This really tells me that, I'll tell you what it is in a minute, that you're sitting in a space of just not wanting to deal with these emotions, not wanting to touch that shame. And you know you need to, but you don't want to. And there's an offer here from the universe saying, here's another cup, here's another chance to feel, another chance to get back into your body. The universe gives you the Queen of Cups here. The tarot talks about the Queen. She's the feminine aspect to ourselves. We have a masculine and a feminine. We all have that side. And it doesn't matter what gender you are. But you have a Queen here. She loves the Pentacle. She knows how to get still. She knows how to get back in her body because she lives every single experience in her life through her body. She's very grounded. She feels all her emotions. And the universe, the tarot here is saying, it's time for you to get back into your body so you can feel. Here's the pain. You need to feel. And how is this showing up in your body, in your life? Well, you're sitting in a lot of pain. There's a lot of pain in your body. There's a lot of pain in your body that needs to be felt. And so what can you do to start feeling this pain? And I know that the universe will not ask you to feel this all at once because there's a lot here. And that's why I think sometimes it becomes so overwhelming because you don't know where to start. And you're scared. You have an ego self that's really scared of emotions, that doesn't want you to touch them. And you're scared, and it's scared that it's going to eat you alive, these emotions. But we're going to do it just a little bit at a time. And the universe says, well, how can you heal this? Well, here's the Three of Wands. In an upright position, the Three of Wands talks about making a plan to take your life in a new direction. Right now, you have no plan. There is, I believe, from this reading, there is this inner knowing here. Here's this inner knowing, this moon, the unconscious, that deep, deep knowing that you need to take your life in a new direction. That it's time. I know there's a resistance to it, but you have to make that commitment that I'm going to do this. And I don't know if I said it earlier or not, but it's just, that's what got me into therapy. I can't remember if it's this reading or another one, but I just knew I had to. And I had to make that decision to do it. Because here's the Nine of Wands that comes up for you right here. We talked about that. You have to make that commitment to dealing with these wands, this pain from your past. And here's the gift from the universe. Here's another chance. It's an offer. It's a beautiful gift. It's taking your life in a new direction for you. It's about putting yourself first this time. putting you first, making you the priority. And that's probably the hardest thing in the world to do, especially when you're not used to putting yourself first. Because you have these cards here that, talk about your shame and your unworthiness. And so there's a huge part of you that was not first in your life. In fact, you might have put yourself last all the time. So now the universe is saying, you're going to put yourself first. That's the decision you have to make for yourself now. You have to say, I'm going first. And is it going to feel selfish at first? Absolutely. Right? It's going to feel the smallest little thing to put yourself first is going to feel like the biggest thing. And it's like, you go from one extreme, you just have to find that middle ground eventually. But it becomes, the more and more you do it, the more and more you enjoy it. And you do. You just say, well, you know what? I don't care. I'm putting myself first. I'm on this journey. I'm healing. I'm going to do what's good for me. And you start off small. And so, how will my life change? How will your life change, Aries? Once you put yourself first and you take that wand and you make that commitment to yourself. Well, the Six of Wands talks about, it's that, do I have it here? Six of Wands. No, don't see it here. The Six of Wands speaks about, again, it's a 6. So it's a duality card. And it's often, so the duality card will show you two sides of something. So on the outside you have, this is in reverse here. On the outside of this card you have this ballerina has just finished her dance. And you have all these people, amazing dance, beautiful. This can happen in reality when, I have all these fans and all this energy coming in to congratulate me. But on the other side of that, it's like it always says, well, here's like a winning card, a victory card, but there's a loss here. Like, what did this ballerina here have to lose to get to this point here, right? Maybe she spent hours and hours and hours, and this is all she's ever done is hours of being a ballerina. And then she has this, 10 minutes of fame. And, that's kind of the give and the take here, this winning and this losing kind of card here. So what this kind of says is, and it's in reverse because there's a resistance. It hasn't been healed yet. But this card often represents, it's that losing part, that lost part. What have you lost? And that's what you need to grieve. What has this ballerina lost? What have you lost from your childhood? From all these years because you have this Nine of Wands twice. What have you lost all your life that you've been trying to get back? And sometimes we have to grieve the life that we had as an adult, partially as an adult, where we lost a lot of that too, because we hadn't dealt with the loss from childhood, because you have this page of not knowing losing their identity that needs healing. And so what did your young child lose? They lost their identity. They lost who they were because they thought they were unworthy and they didn't matter all these years. And what is going to, that was in reverse here. And so that whole area of, once your life will change, once you start to grieve what you've lost, you're going to feel supported and validated. And guess who else is going to feel supported and validated? It's going to be this little page right here that has been crying all these years for you to pay attention to them and to heal them and to heal that grief that they've been holding on to and that shame that they've been holding on to. And what else is here? Well, the last card is the Four of Pentacles. And the Four of Pentacles talks about things that we've been holding on to. These are the Pentacles, holding on. They could be material things. They could be, anything to do with the body. We've been holding on to things in our body. And this is about attachments and letting go. And so you're going to be able to let go. You're finally going to let go of all those things that people told you when you were younger. Letting go of that shame and that grief and all those things that clouded your sense of who you were. And that's beautiful. It's beautiful. But your younger child needs to express. You have to allow that younger child of yours to express those things. And so before I get into the oral card, Aries, I'm going to leave you with, I think you need a playlist on shame. And I'm also going to leave you a playlist on grief. Because I think there's some grieving here that needs to be done. Grieving and shame. This is what your child's been feeling all these years that you need to allow them to express. All right, so let's have an oracle card for Aries. This card is called Gratitude Again. 37. Gratitude again. We live in a post the secret world. And during the last decade, we've learned a lot about gratitude, positive thinking, and what's possible with the right mindset. There are still many people who believe magical thinking is a load of poppycock, and even more who are fence sitters who dabble now and then just in case it brings them $1 million check in the mail. So it's time to get real about gratitude again. Every time we repeat something, we get better at it, right? Did you tie your shoelace the first time you tried to? Okay, maybe you did, but lots of us have to practice that. Gratitude is your secret mindset shifter, and engaging in a thankful perspective will shift how wonderfully rich your life is. Like sacred geometry spiraling from the center of a plant, gratitude grows in strength exponentially each and every time it spirals. Learning to live in a state of being grateful is part of your sacred story. Let go of any lackluster attempts you've experienced and call abundance into your life. This is a part of your medicine. I do want to say something about gratitude because I'm going to say that just being grateful is not going to get you where you need to get. And I know that is a kind of a mainstream kind of feeling where, if I just put on a happy face, I'm going to get to where I have to go. However, I will say that, your journey, you have this, definitely have this 901 journey. You have some healing that needs to be done. And we've talked about that. So I'm going to say to you that, you're going to do this bit by bit. And throughout each step that you do it, you are going to give yourself a pat on the back. And you're going to say, like, you're doing awesome. We're doing this a bit by bit, right? And so you're going to be grateful to you. And I don't mean like putting on that happy face at all, because we have to do the work, and the work is tough. But you have to be able to look back on your journey and go, you know what? Look how far I've come. Look how far I've come. And replace that expression with that grateful thing, because I find that kind of bypasses this real work that we have to do here. And that is, look how far I've come. And you work a bit more at it. Look how far I've come. This is a journey. This is a process. And so, Aries, have compassion for yourself for what you're working through. This is the most difficult journey of your life. And but it's the most important one. So I'll talk to you soon. Bye.